Hello everyone and welcome back to my next deck guide that I have here for you. Today's deck is going to be ST and we're playing traps with some elf units basically, and also playing the scenario card Feign Death. So basically, before we get into the deck list too much, our strategy will be practically to play Feign Death in the first round, and by doing that we most likely secure a first round victory. We pass the second round and we just want to play a long round 3, and over the long round 3 is when we'll be playing all our trap cards out, and at the end of playing all our trap cards out we get value off of those trap cards by playing Eldain. Okay, so we basically have like a unitless strategy at the end, but we're playing units in the beginning of the match. So the leader ability is Deadeye Ambush. That allows us to spawn an Elven Deadeye in an allied row. We have 3 charges of this, Elven Deadeye being this token unit here, and we can use our leader ability to synergize with Isengrim that is in our deck, and also Yavin to give him a bigger payoff when we play those units. Okay, so we're going to just go through this list bottom up, and I'm going to explain to you guys how best to play each card and when to play it. All right. So at the bottom here we have two Dol Blathana bombers, just these units here. They just allow you to damage 2 random enemy units by 2. Once again, we'll be playing most of the units that we have in this deck in the first round. You can use these as activators for scenario, or just to put an extra control aspect in the first round when we're playing our deck out. And these could be nice to help you set up Waylay, for example. They can damage a unit down, and then when you play Waylay from scenario you'll get the full benefit out of it. So look to play these cards in the beginning. Venossiel's Commando, we have 2 of these as well. At the end of your turn, boosts off by 1 if you control only elf units. So because we're playing the scenario in the first round, all of the units that we're playing at those times are elf units. In the third round, when we go on Unitless, we will have the dragon in this deck and also saber-toothed tiger. So Venossiel's condition shouldn't be affected by that too much. So go ahead and play these in the first round. It gives us some good points. Passive points is always nice ticking away. So yeah, I find these to be more of the cards we want to search for when activating scenario. Okay, play the Commando, and as well as the Commando, Swordmaster is a good option too. So we have 2 Bowmen as well. Damage an enemy unit by 1 for each row that separates it from this unit. Basically, for max value, you want to play these units on the ranged row and damage your opponent's ranged row unit. Okay, these are also very nice to activate and play with scenario. Once again, they can help you set up Waylay. So look to play these in the first round. Swordmaster. It's a nice card. It does have a cooldown of 2, but because we're playing so many elf units, we can get some decent value out of the Swordmaster. What I'd recommend is playing this early on when you're playing scenario, so then we can get some benefit out of the damage this card can generate. Opt for the Swordmaster or the Commando, as I said, as activators for scenario, or as cards you'd preferably go for in the first round. But basically all these bronze elf units you see at the bottom of our deck list, feel free to go ahead and just play them all out in the first. So whenever you play an elf, decrease cooldown by 1. That's how this card works. Play it on the melee row. Alright. Okay, so that's pretty much the majority of the units outlined for the first round that we'd like to play. Now we're going to get more into the unitless aspect of the deck. Next up is making a bomb. We have this in our deck just to synergize with the unitless aspect, and because we're playing saber-toothed tiger, in the third and final round, you can take making a bomb in and move some units apart. 1 melee row, 1 ranged row, and saber-tooth can help deal damage to each of those units. So if you move an enemy unit to a row where there's no units, it's going to damage and destroy. Otherwise, if there's a unit there already, it's just going to do full bleeding. So it's a good backup plan. If you happen to miss a trap and you get this, it's still nice to play in the third round. You could also use it when you're playing scenario just for a bit of control in the first round, but it won't be necessary because scenario allows us to generate so many points. Next up, we have double incinerating trap. So all of the traps, as I've explained, we just want to play in the third and final round and save them for that part as much as possible. We don't want to play them any other time. On the spring, you can damage a unit by 3, but we want to play it on the ambush, right? Damage the next unit your opponent plays on their side by 5. So over the third and final round, first card we play is Saber-Toothed Tiger. Then you can go ahead and start stacking all your traps one by one and just try to anticipate what card your opponent may play and play your traps accordingly, all right? So incinerating traps, take him into the third and final. We've got 2 crushing traps. On spring, damage all units in a row by 1. We want to play it once again for the ambush value. After 2 turns, at the end of your turn, damage all enemy units on the row with the most units by 2. Okay, so if there's melee row with 3 units, ranged row's got 4. Crushing trap's going to hit the ranged row because it's got more units. It's a very nice card to have, and we do get a big payoff playing Crushing Trap in this deck by the end of the third round, because we do have Saber-Toothed Tiger in this deck, and Saber-Toothed Tiger naturally will allow us to make our opponent funnel their units into a specific row, because we're using our opponent's common sense against them, right? They don't want to get damage from Saber-Toothed Tiger, so what they're going to do is they're going to start row stacking to avoid that, and that's going to fit perfect for Crushing Trap payoff, right? We've got Pitfall Trap next. I really like this card because on the spring you can damage, you can cause 6 damage randomly, but you can imagine if your opponent plays a 6-power unit on the board and there's nothing else and you click it, you could just kill it immediately. So that could come in handy for cards like Alzor. Alzor would be a pretty good card. Freak Show, there's a lot of different cards we can get a lot of good value off by playing Pitfall Trap. Or if you're pretty confident and you know what card your opponent's going to play next and it's got a very high cost, after your opponent plays a card face up, split damage equal to its provision cost between all enemy units. So, you know, if your opponent plays a Neuromancy, this could do 13 points of damage. It could be a real nice card. Next up, we've got Yaevinn. Yaevinn and Isengram are cards that you can take into the third and final round if you didn't use them in the first. I'd probably suggest to as well, to be honest. All the other elf units you'd want to play in the first. And the reason for that is because we're playing Eldain. Eldain's going to transform all our traps into elf units, and then Yaevinn can get a very big payoff at the end of the third round by doing damage to an enemy unit by the number of elf units in a row. Okay, so make sure when we're stacking our traps and we're getting ready to play Eldain, do all that on the melee row and leave at least 1 spot. So have 8 units on that row and leave 1 space for Yaevinn on that row, just so you can play him in there, get max value. Basically, he's going to do 8 damage max if they're all elf units. Really good. So then we've got Black Blood. I've added this into this deck this time around because it fits with our Unitless strategy. And Black Blood, you can play flexibly in this deck. You can play in the first or you can play it in the third round. Like I said, we're a 2-round deck. And yeah, it can come in handy. Say if you know your opponent's about to play Colgrim, you can make Black Blood a timed move where Colgrim will get destroyed by this. If their last say is a card like Gord, if their last say is like Agalace, Osrul, I mean, Black Blood could play pretty good, but it will require you to anticipate your opponent's play and understand what kind of cards they got in their deck at what point, okay? So this doesn't work with Eldain. It's not a trap, it's just an artifact. And the next time an enemy receives a boost, destroy that unit and this. That's how it works. Serpent Trap, it's probably my favorite trap because it gives us so much destruction value. If we spring it, we get to destroy the enemy unit with the lowest power. You can imagine how filthy some of our trap plays could be over a long round. Our opponent plays 1 unit, we have, you know, free access to respond to it how we want. If they play like a defender, you could play Serpent Trap, kill it right away on the spring. We'll probably try to go for the spring on this as much as possible. But if you see your opponent's units are quite tall, you can just leave it out there on the field, because on the ambush, after your opponent plays a special card, destroy the enemy unit with the highest power. So it can be really good. And we could even go double Serpent Trap in this deck with Hattori. So we have a lot of access to that kind of destruction value. Next up is Isengram. Boost all other elf units by 1. Whenever you play an elf unit, boost off by 1. We can use Isengram as a final card at the end of the third round that we slam down. So once Eldain has transformed all our traps into elf units, We've got our leader ability. We go click our leader ability out fully, waste it all, and then you slam Isengrim down for a nice point slam. He's going to boost all our elf units up. So it's a good final round play. If you're struggling in the first round to secure the first round victory, you can commit Isengrim or Yavin as well. So keep in mind, first round victory is very important to us, because if we get bled into the second round, we may have to spend some of our win condition cards, and it just makes our third round worse, okay? Eldain, at the end of your turn, if you control 5 or more elves, summon this unit from your deck to your melee row. If we get scenario and we're going first, we're more than likely to draw out Eldain because of all the elf units we're going to generate. This card can get thinned out on the very first move if we're going first and we are playing Enshay, because this gives us 2 elf units, this stratagem. Spawn and play Scoia'tael Neophyte, which is this. See the deploy, spawn a base copy of this unit on the other row. So basically, yeah, we can get a very quick activation of Eldain to get thinned out to the melee row with playing scenario and with playing the stratagem when we are going first. If not, on the second turn of playing scenario card, third turn or whatnot, you'll more than likely draw out Eldain. So just make sure Eldain is a card that you keep in your deck, because we want to get thinned out. You don't want it in your hand, okay? Then we have Hattori. Create and play a trap card from your starting deck. You more than likely want to go for Serpent Trap with Hattori, just because of that removal value is so good. But, you know, take Hattori into the third round, or if not, you could flexibly commit him into the first. I'd say save it for the third as much as possible, because we want a bigger payoff of Eldain when he's making another trap. And yeah, just see what trap card you're going to get, because he's going to create and play a trap card from your starting deck, and it's going to be one of 3 randomly selected cards. So we don't know exactly what he may get, because we've got more than 3 traps in this deck. We've got 1, 2, 3, and we've got 4 with Incinerating Trap. Then we've got Saber-Tooth Tiger. You know, if you click Saber-Tooth Tiger, he becomes an artifact, so he cannot take damage, which is really nice. But if your opponent's got a Heat Wave, they can still destroy him. It's a Zeal order ability. So how we play Saber-Tooth Tiger is he will be the very first play that we do of the third round. And like I said, that's just going to encourage our opponent to start row stacking throughout the whole round for us, okay? At the start of your turn, damage all enemy units that are alone on their row by 2 and transform self into Saber-Tooth Tiger. So basically, when our opponent's done their turn, it's going to come back to our side of the board. He's going to flip up and he's going to do damage if there's 1 unit on the ranged row, 1 unit on the melee row. Then we've got the Dragon. This is just to help us maintain points, and it's a card we're playing in the third round. You can pretty much play it flexibly when you want, but usually it will be like the second last play maybe before Isengrim. And it's just, yeah, it's got the immunity tag. It can't be touched, and it just helps us maintain some power on our side of the board, okay? Because we're playing Unitless, points may be an issue. But then again, playing Eldain, transforming traps, we do get a very nice unsuspecting point swing at the end of a match. So just a third and final round card. Eldain is a key condition to victory for us, guys. Very important. Transform all your face-up traps into Elven Deadeyes, being this here. We're not Devotion, so we're not worrying about other artifacts. And yeah, Eldain, you will play him once all of your traps are being activated, and he's just going to transform your traps into this unit here. So it's very, very important that we keep him in our hand when we find him during a match. So third and final round play. Then we just have a Neuromancy in our deck, play any card from our deck on 2 separate occasions because it's got the Echo tag. And Feign Death, first round card for us. What I will say about our deck, guys, is if we have Feign Death in our hand and we are going first, there is a very, very high win ratio of the first round for us. 9 times out of 10, we're going to win the first round because just so many points that we can deal out. But even if we're not going first, we still have a good win ratio. And we just progress when we play an elf unit. Chapter 1, spawn 2 Elven Deadeyes in the row. Deadeyes being this. When you open up the scenario, when you first play it, we get to spawn Vinotsiel's Commando. Nice little engine on the board. Passive points, good. And just try to time the waylay play well, okay? We want to either have a unit that's 3 power or less on our opponent's side of the board when we're playing the final chapter, just so we can go ahead and spawn an Elven Deadeye. Because waylay on death blow, that's what allows us to do. Spawn an Elven Deadeye in a random row. So just try to time that. Or if you have a unit in your hand which can cause damage, play that as the final activator of scenario, and then you can deal waylay just to get max value. So Feign Death, very key card to winning the first round for us. So yeah, Enche Saber, I've outlined this. And yeah, what I will say about this deck, guys, is it is a very high win ratio for us if we get Feign Death in the first round. And if we manage to get Eldain in our hand, it's a very, very successful deck. That is the list overall. I hope you're going to enjoy the following matches. Black Blood Traps, let me know what you think about it in the comment section down below. But the rest, we've been winning. Double cross. Yeah, so put our traps away in the first. We don't want to go too trap heavy. We want more elf units. And yeah, we're just going to open up a scenario. It's immediate activation. Fantastic point swing. Get the deck thinning going on. That's it, guys. That's it. Just like that, we're up and away. Could go bomber to damage something. He probably plays the 5-powered unit now, doesn't he? The one that gives spying. I forget what it's called. Mage? Was it Torture or something like that? Probably plays some unit like that now. Blight's a good waylay target. Oh, he hits that out of all of them. Just my luck, man. Just my luck, honestly. It's all good. Let's put this here. Take that. Yeah, Mage Torture, that's the one, yep. Yeah, it's a fantastic little point swing we have, Rithwick. When we go stratagem with scenario, when we're going first, this deck is very successful if you got scenario in your hand. And most of the time, we tend to get it. So it's just a 2-round deck, you know. First round, you're just going to play scenario, then you pass second, third's just traps. That's it. Simple. Straightforward to play. So toxic. You have to go see the doctor after watching me play this on stream. Apologies if you get unwell. It's not my intention. I'm just a content creator for Gwent. Can't blame me. It's a pretty weak play. Yeah, good kill. Well done, my friend. Well played. We could go ahead, damage that. Let's get an engine down, because we want to stay consistent with the points, right? Why not try the 2-0, since this is a 2-round deck? I think we have a lot more benefit, you know, maintaining our hand and just going for a long round, because we're unitless. They can't really interact with our side of the board, whereas we can do a lot of damage and we can like time plays. And I wouldn't want to risk going a card down with this deck, to be honest. It performs better that way, in my opinion. But you know, feel free to challenge my view. Yeah, we'd go this next. Nice. Good, good. So we've got no more boosting because this is here. So spies shut down the commando. This little sneaky Duchess. But yeah, we got what we want. Long round upcoming. Easy, easy. Black Blood should play good in this match too, because they're doing assimilate. So if I find it, I'll take it with me. There it is. Man, all the celebrities are in the chat. They give me good luck. You guys, you're not allowed to go anywhere. You have to stay. Okay. So all we need is, you know, Hattori and the rest of the fun, poisonous, toxic cards. But this is fine. Looks good to me. Just pass and go for a long round. And it's just going to be open up with Tiger. And then, you know, we start to funnel our opponent's units into the same row. Crushing Trap at the end of a match plays huge. So it works out pretty good. Happy days. So he's doing Illusionist, right? He's throwing an Illusionist out. So he has given some of our units spying status, right? Looks good. Well, I mean, Hattori and Yaven's nice. And we've got four draws remaining. I think I'm gonna click around on this. Yeah. Hey, man. Oh, this is a great stream. Oh, you love it, man. You love it. That's really good. Fantastic. It's probably a good time to put Tiger down. Maybe we get to kill one. Oh, he's got Heat Wave. Oh, that could change things. So, well, Anira could get us Yaven. Couldn't it? Do this. I like to stack my traps on the melee row to set up Yaven and Eldain. And I go Dragon and Tiger on ranged row just to give us board space. So that's important, you know, especially when you verse an NG, they put spies on our side. I don't know if that's really gonna happen here, but we'll see. Okay, so he's got Froth, Black Blood. It's probably not like the strongest Black Blood, to be honest. I could just click Pitfall too. Yeah, that works. Not bad. Hattori could get us another. Okay, he's doing some boosting. Right. Do it now. You can't avoid this, my friend. It's coming for you. Someone's biting the dust. Either that or I'm denying you your Froth. What's it gonna be, partner? Pick your move. That's right, you're looking at it. It's not an easy card to avoid.
Do I enjoy torture? Perhaps. A bit.
Yeah, we're gonna go this. I think I'd go Pitfall just to kill this off. Is that alright? Yes. So we get a better Froth target with Black Blood. You know, if you boost something else, it's going to be of better value than that. Yeah, I think that's cool. Should be good. We got to get Serpent Trap down next as soon as possible. Shame he Heat Wave Tiger. It would have set up Crushing Trap nice. So we want to get this down before he uses Order ability for Froth, right? So we got a guaranteed activator. Could really catch him off guard here. We could get a big kill. Very nice kill. Ah, he played one special.
A shame I have no time.
You're gonna boost. It's gonna bite the dust. If you're gonna give me that, I'll take it, my friend. I'm very happy with that. Thank you for your generosity. It was great doing business with you today. Really, really appreciate your generosity, my friend. Lovely to verse you. It's Terra Nova now. What's he gonna play? You know, I better get... We don't want to give him a Nero, eh? Well, actually, that kills Wanderer. Maybe it's not that bad. Yeah, so Wanderer dies. Pretty good. Yep, nice. Beautiful scenes. His Froth's not looking that good now. I'm sure he'll get around to it though. Meliro? Okay, Jim, missed a couple of your streams. Nice to be here again. Yeah, nice to see you back. How you been? I heard you got to rank 5, was it? Well done on that. Congrats. That's fantastic to hear. Very happy for you. Yeah, we just play our traps. It's all good. Stoked. Yeah, good on you. I know you were stuck there for a while. It gets hard sometimes, eh? But like I said, you don't give up and you keep trying and you got there in the end, right? So that's it. Good stuff. Good. Froth, yep. Yeah, that's the way. That's it.
My loyalty is to Imperial coin, not to the face.
Please wait, Your Excellency. I'm falling behind.
Yes, yes, yes. What do we want to do here? I think Anira's for Yavin, really, isn't it? I'll play it early. Let that do the damage. Right? He should have Terra Nova. I think he does. Yeah, there it is. Nice, nice. It's good to see for us. So we got 2, 4, 6, 7.
Coexistence. No such thing.
Yeah, we got Isengrim last. Isengrim's gonna be nice here, guys. Still got leader too. Think about it. Last card Yennefer? Yeah. But watch this. Just pay attention, ready? That's it, man. We got it, we got it. Beautiful. Yes. Yes, yes. This is... Yeah, I mean, this is okay for opening hand. Definitely want scenario first. Yeah, you're right, Crumpy. That's why you gotta come on my chat more often. You have to advise me.
Allow me to play you an Eldain.
Ooh. That's just unfair play. It's really unfair play. Really, really is. I might just kill that. Then maybe we play scenario. He has Siri and Kelly in hand. Already confirmed. Yeah. Nice, man, nice. You're onto it. The Beast? Yeah, okay. Let's do this.
Await the signal. Till then, don't budge.
So we lost like one of our win conditions really with Eldain. I don't know how it's gonna play for us because we rely on him to get massive points. He's trying to tick away with that. Yeah, so Black Blood would kill the beast, right? Pretty good for us. Maybe I'll pull that now. Let's just leave that there. A little gift for you. Enjoy it. Enjoy, my friend. Enjoy some poison drink. What? Okay. So you timed the play. What if Hattori gets a serpent trap? I'm just thinking about if I start playing like this, what do we got left for later? Yeah, I mean, we still get traps. Killing Kelly's probably good though. Yep. Black Blood was good there, you see?
We will take back what was stolen.
Nice. We've used double Serpent Trap here though. And Black Blood. Bit expensive. Yeah. Passes. So now we've got to think of how we're going to play around losing Eldain. Traps aren't going to have a big payoff for us now. but it's still worth playing for our strategy. We have to stay consistent with it. We could just try to play in a bit.
Swords I smile at, weapons laugh to scorn.
Maybe he gets worried, over commits. We see some good cards come out. Yeah, he's got dominance with that.
Good ass. Don't dare think you can escape.
We're probably just playing out the bowman and that's it. Probably just passing. Yeah, because he's got Sabbath. Yep.
Mankind is a virus.
Alright.
Plague.
Yeah, okay, we could do this. This is exactly what happened the first game I had. Played into the second. But then our deck's not really built like that, you know, to push in for a bleed. So yeah, I'll pass. Maybe his own Keltalis will come back to haunt him. It's gonna start burning his own units up next round. We'll just go unitless as possible. Yeah, good traps. Don't need this now. Wow, it's like all we're missing is Eldain. That was it.
Step carefully. You're at my forest now.
Yep. We'll go Tiger. Might as well hit that down too. So if he kills our units, he's in trouble actually. Because he's gonna burn off Nithril. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, we'll just play traps from here. So we could get Pitfall. So maybe he's just looking to damage down our units, not actually kill them. Oh, he's actually playing more units than us. Has to be careful. Do another. Hound. Gonna do this. So as long as we've got less units, we're good. Less units than him.
Oh, I sense trouble.
So Nithril dies. Uh, do this too. Oh, that's pretty good value for us there. But yeah, he's gonna get the extra card.
Quick, move those hooves. It'll both be ham.
Yeah, he's burning his own units up. Maybe we kill this now.
Time for you to die, Dwan. We were not the ones to start this war.
All right. Surprised how close the points are still. Because we really have, I mean, with no Eldain, we're really under here. Ah, this is Caldwell.
Keep calm, Tiberius.
Hey, House, what's up, man? Oh, you love traps? That's good to hear. A bit different from what others have been telling me. Usually say it's toxic. How you been, man? Good? How's your kids? Yeah, I guess we could play... Well, we should play this. Why not, right? Gets the cooldown ready for next turn. Wow, it's gonna be a close one, hey? For real? We actually got points? Ah, it's good to hear, brother. I'm surprised. They even got the Syria. They got Heatwave Lust. I'm surprised, honestly. With no Eldain, we're doing that. First round, I don't really want to keep a hand that's trap heavy. Like I said, we're trying to go more scenario in the first. Definitely don't want that. Well, he's playing double cross. I may put this one back too. And yeah, we just open Feign Death. Click this.
Till then, don't budge.
That's it. Quick point swing.
Humans to the sea!
Gets us up there quick. Well done, yeah, bro. First 2 or 3 days. That's really great, dude. Good on you. You must be an excellent player to do that. Do you make your own decks to get there, or how do you go about it? That's kind of like me too, to be honest. I just like to grind really hard when I get reset my rank. It's all about business at the beginning, and then after that I just chill and have fun, you know, kind of make my own decks and just share my ideas with you guys and stuff. But in the beginning I'm like really focused on like scores and how I'm playing and all that.
Suffering ennobles, friend. You'll be a count once I'm done with you.
Yep. So yeah, we've got to set up the waylay target. So this is perfect for us. Pretty easy. And I mean, these are pretty nice for the bomber. You can transform it, or say if something gets poisoned, that allows you to transform too. So it's just good to keep that in mind, you know. Transform's good to rid your unit of status.
I shall flog them into submission.
Transform an allied elf. So we can't transform this. He's put this here to shut this off though. I'm not near the top players. Usually take the decks that are consistent. Ah, cool. Nice, nice. Ammo only, yeah. You'd like to change my title? Sure. Please remind me at the end of this match and I'll do that. If I serpent trap that, man, that's pretty much done deal for this round, I think. Should I do it? I mean, serpent trap's pretty nice for later too. Ah, it's it's pretty tempting. I might just do it. Yeah, I think we just hit it. I couldn't resist it. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, that's how they shut down our units. Like I said, Venosial's Commando, the boosting unit. At the end of your turn, boost off by one if you control only elf units. So they could just play spies. You know, we can't really do much. Can't do so much to work around that. He's passing at this stage. So that's the equivalent of him passing on even, because I'm drawing a full hand. So I wonder how we want to play into this then. Shall we just go 2-0? It should depend on what we're going to draw though. Depends how good this hand's going to be. I'm not sure. Traps are amazing this season. Yeah, I've been having a lot of success with this deck in all honesty, off stream when I've been experimenting with it. Just trying to think, hey. Like, what are we missing really? Tiger, Pitfall, Incineration Trap. 1 trap, 2 trap, 3, 4. See how he plays into it. Because of all the control, yeah, it can be really sneaky, dude. My favorite's when you're versing alumni, and then you know, all that crazy damage they've gathered, they can't do anything with it. Because we just go unitless, you know, like we got immunity units. They can't really target anything.
Your bed will avenge us, Dwan.
Dead man's tongue. Hey, if we hit Serpent Trap with a Tory, man. Can we make him go a card down? I wonder if we should try it. Yeah, we got it. Oh, jeez. That's too good. Wasn't consistent enough against other decks. Immunity MO. So that's like with the Frightener. That's how you play that, right? Can we make him go down a card? I want to make him go down a card and just go a long round, I think. because I'd like to have Sabretooth just to funnel his units in row because we got Crushing Trap. That's what Sabretooth's really good for. That's good to get out too.
And release the hounds.
Her grace will not be pleased.
What about Black Blood now? He's assimilate, so maybe he can't work around that. Maybe he's got a lot of boosting. Maybe he can kill something. If he's deciding to copy our units here, you know, Braithen's is gonna die. Frightener, She-Troll, yeah. Oh, so you played it this season. Bribery? Braithen's dies here. He's creating a unit. It's going to trigger Braithen's. Black Blood's going to kill it. Braithen's will boost. Sabretooth? Have we gotten enough? Maybe we're passing here. I think we pass. You know, I want to put pressure on him. I want to make him pay, but I just feel like we should probably save this with leader, like these combos. And we're just hoping to draw traps now. And Sabretooth. Ah, nice. Very good, very good. Yeah, so the odds that I pull a unit are very high. I'm not going to click. Making a bomb works sweet. We're keeping with the Unitless theme. And we're just going to pull Sabretooth with the Nero. That's it, pretty much. Damn right, he'll pay. Yeah, and we've got to look out for his leader, because, you know, he could create something from our hand. So we're going to try to use... you know, cards which he could use from us for his value. We're going to try to use them sooner. Yeah, let him roast stack. Crushing Trap should pay pretty big. So we definitely don't want to give him access to a Nero. Maybe we're going Dragon next. Dragon, and then the traps. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Hey Virgaludo, what's up? Thanks for coming on my stream. Hope you're doing well. Playing traps and some Black Blood today. If you'd like the deck, Kuvin, it will be my next deck guide on YouTube. That's where I released the deck lists. But there is 2 similar versions I have on my channel. If you go check them out, they're pretty similar to this. So I could give you an idea of what the deck looks like if you want to go ahead and play something sooner. Spawn 1 of 3. Wow, he got that. Jeez. Better kill that.
It is inevitable.
Yep, killing that. Do you play a different deck every day? I try to as much as possible. I try my best not to repeat a deck. I actually don't repeat a deck, but what I would do is show you an updated version of it if there's changes that happen, or if I get different ideas. But I never play the same deck twice as far as presenting it on YouTube or whatnot. I try to keep it new for you guys as much as possible. Probably want to bring this down here. This is great for crushing trap, right? So have a look. We're not even a movement leader ability, and you know, Tiger is making our opponent do the work for us. It's fantastic. This is why I like having Tiger in trap decks. We're using our opponent's common sense against them here, right? Psychological warfare. Was my heart sing assimilate against no unit? Yeah, I think a lot of people, they just want to see Nilfgaard get smashed.
None of them to sit back and do nothing.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, okay. I think Pitfall's pretty good next. I just wonder, what would he play next? What's he got left, really? Like, if I click it, I'm doing 6 damage. 6 is pretty good. But at the same time, if I'm doing random damage, he could heal with this. I could leave it. Maybe we'll just see if we can high roll something. I'm really not sure at this point. Oh, that's not a bad high roll. It's good points, yeah. Wow, great, great. Yeah, he plays another. That's very good. So we actually end up doing 8 points of damage. Better than the spring. He'll go leader ability anytime now. I think he's going to be a bit disappointed. He does have some elf synergy on his side though, but he can't do anything to us. So just take a look. It's not going to be a big payoff for him. He could get Isengrim. Isengrim's probably the best for him here. Triggers his assimilate too. It's not terrible. Yeah. That's the best option. So is Joachim. He played it first round. Why did he give me this? He's giving me a point like that, basically. He should have just discarded that. Right? Play the next trap. Another thing I'd suggest, like, when you guys are playing this deck, try to stack melee row with traps and leave these two back here, because we want to kind of like just stay consistent with board space and, you know, the different ability with Yavin, stacking elves together on a row and then doing damage. So just keep that in mind. Maybe it could help you. You don't want your row to get clogged or something. Usually it would happen against Nilfgaard, to be honest, when they play a lot of spies, but I don't really know. They played most of their spies in the first, though. He's just giving me points like this, really. Just give me a point. He's better to discard here. So we click that. Yeah, so the timing could be a bit awkward with this, but I think it's better to just let it do its damage. And what I do is play this now, because we've got some good road damage up the back there. So that works for us. Yep, I think this is where we start to seal the deal now.
My duty? To stick my nose where it doesn't belong.
Good. Let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We could kill Terra Nova here. Let's do that.
We will notch the warriors to start this war.
And we'll click that one more time. Yeah, we got this. Should be a good win. Great tip. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, don't even have to play my last card. GG guys, we got it. It's a pretty successful deck, this one.